Hey, Tasha.
Hey, Sharon, how are you?
I'm good. All right. So I'm dancing. I gotta say, because you got a song in my head. And so now I gotta, it's all in my head, but can't stop, won't stop. Sis, forget what they got to say is what we talking about tonight.
Tell the people who we are.
I am Sharon. I am an accountability queen, and that is my accountability partner for the past 10 years,
Nice.
right?
A decade.
Wow.
And I'm Tasha Howland, and that is my accountability partner. And I am very appreciative of our last decade together.
Right? It's been a decade. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And so what we
Should we
do,
buy ourselves a gift for our 10-year anniversary?
uh, that sounds a little suspect, but we can certainly have a great meal and drink at the Accountability Queens retreat in August.
That's right.
Yeah. But
So
meanwhile, so we are the Accountability Queens, and we help women achieve everything that they're trying to do and thrive and support them in meeting their goals. Everything that they just never feel like they have enough time to do, we hold their hands and help them get to it.
yeah,
And it's a passion for us for sure.
for sure.
All right, so let's get into our topic tonight, right? And for anyone who's watching, you can join in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Tell us what you're feeling, right? So the topic tonight: can't stop, won't stop. So in our heads, we get down, baby. We get down. That's in the head. That's in our head, just so you know. So you see us bop a little bit. That's what's happening, right? But it's really about people getting in your head, right? Can't stop, won't stop. How do you stay focused when people come at you and they're like, man, sounds crazy. Like you think you could do this, you think you could do whatever, but they have no faith in you, discourage you.
Yeah,
Right?
or you haven't even put it out there. You
Or
haven't
you
said it
haven't
out
even put it out
loud.
there.
Yeah.
Or said it out loud, right? And sometimes the doubts, my pastor always says the mind is the devil's playground. So let me ask you, how do you get past the doubts?
I do put it out there to certain people. Well, since we're going to talk about our pastors, right? My pastor says that your dreams are like infants, right? When they are in their infancy, you don't let just anybody touch on your infant or hold your infant or keep
Oh,
your infant, right? And so you have to be very particular about who you share, you know, your dreams with, especially in their infancy. So, I share with people that I know are going to support me or be honest with me about capabilities. Do you know what I mean?
sure.
But more than anything, I think, I do put it out there because I do want to be held accountable, or I want somebody to ask me about it, right? Oh, how you
Right.
doing with such and such? I remember you said this. Oh, how is this going? Yeah. How about you?
I feel it depends on what it is, right? It really is. Oh, hi, Yvonne. How are
Hi,
you?
Yvonne.
Yvonne, I definitely want you to join in this conversation too. It really depends for me what it is. Um, I tend to err on the more private side, so I don't always share a lot of information to begin with. I'm just sort of
Yeah.
wired that way, and actually part of that, and I think about it, is because my time in television, right? You end up, and I was, it was just too much, and then people know who you are, and I just, so I don't share a whole lot, and so I've just become comfortable not sharing and uncomfortable sharing. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah.
So I don't generally share, and I don't know that it's because what will people say, and I'm not going to say that I never have doubts. I certainly have doubts, like, can I do that? But thankfully, to your point, I do try to surround myself with very supportive people, for sure.
So I have a great example. Back a long time ago, I was going to start a consulting firm, right? I was going to leave my job, my 9 to 5 that was paying for my insurance and, all this stuff, and step out on my own. And I said it to a couple of people, and they were like, well, why would you do that? How can you do that? It's so risky. Blah, 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 blah. Don't leave your good job, right?
Right,
And
right.
so I
That
was
good
like,
9 to 5.
these aren't the people that I need to talk to.
Yeah.
But my husband, who's also an entrepreneur, right? He was like, absolutely. He was like, you were meant to sail, right? You're ready. Let's do it. And so he was the one that, that I was able to share that infant with, right?
Yeah.
And he supported me in more ways than one as I started my business.
Yeah.
And then it was successful, right? And then after it's successful, people were like, oh, do that. Da, 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 da. How'd you know how to do that?
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to do it. I didn't really know how to do it, but I
Right.
did. I just stepped out on faith and I did it, right? And so it's part of the reason that I'm working on an MBA right now, because I think, a formal business education coupled with, the faith and the lessons learned from that consulting firm will help me down the line. So
Yeah.
Yvonne said, I'm not on to share. Just listen.
She's just, yeah. I mean, and she said she's not one to share. And so
Oh,
that's what I'm guessing. It says I'm not on to share, but probably I'm not one to share. I'm gonna
okay.
go ahead and take that leap. But I mean, so you and I were listening to a video, and it was just on sound bites from Jay-Z. And Jay-Z's like, I cancel out all the noise. He said, if I let any of that noise, right? He said he had an uncle who said, man, you can't sell records.
Right.
And here he goes on to be a million. He goes to, and he shops his songs out, his mixtapes out to all the record producers and the labels, and nobody wanted them. So what he had to do, and he started his own label, right? And so he never lost focus. He never let what anyone else says about it. And you got to think about it. At some point, that crowd, that roar in your head has got to be pretty loud.
Right.
Particularly if you're a Jay-Z, particularly all that he has accomplished. I mean, I even look at, say, and I'm just going for music here, Drake, right? Drake had so much criticism. Oh, he's emo rap. What is emo rap? Emotional rap. And he's singing, he light skinned. This is a world you don't know about. I get Tasha. Tasha don't know nothing about hip hop. Tasha know gospel music. Tasha don't know nothing about popular music. God bless her. We still work there.
Unless I'm studying, right? I will recognize.
Unless you're studying, then she's listening to the most ratchet music ever. But other than that, is that Hezekiah Walker? But okay, so so Drake, he's a very popular rapper.
Yeah, but how? I think the main question is, how do they drown out the noise, right? It's easy to just say, I'm going to drown it out. I'm not going to listen to people. But what are the tangible things that people do or that you've done to drown out that noise, right? To be able to move forward with whatever goal.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. One of my secret weapons is my mom. My mom is incredibly supportive of me. And so having my mom's support and I gave her something I think it says something like, I do because you believe I can, something like that. It's in her house. And it is because that's a big one for me, right? She is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly off the chart supportive. And that allows me to be confident in the steps that I'm taking.
Mm-hmm. She's also incredibly honest.
Yes.
And so that if she's supporting you, she's also going to be honest with you.
Yeah. But honesty don't always mean right, but sure.
Just always mean right, but yeah.
She's honest, but her honest don't mean all right. So
look, here's another mom comment.
my mom used to, this is Anthony. My mom used to tell me to consider the source. If the detractors ain't doing nothing, their opinion is irrelevant. That's right. Extreme self-confidence with a tight inner circle is invaluable. Listen, I swear by my village.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to have a girlfriend. She'd say, what you doing now, Tasha? You always doing something. You're right. I am. What did you say you were doing again? Oh, okay. Nothing. Right. Oh, got it. Okay.
Right. And those are, we're very sensitive to the people who we surround ourselves with, right? I would say to the point where our group of friends, who I think are very ambitious, very outgoing, very community minded, very probably faith-based, even though not all the same faith, but all very faith-based.
They're all rock stars.
They are all rock stars.
Oh my God. Rock stars. Like, I'm humbled to be able to be a part of the group, you know?
Yeah. So it's really about who you surround yourself with. So I think, so to your point, when we talk about the tangible things, is who are you surrounding yourself with? And to Anthony's point, who are you following? Does your circle, are they doing anything? If they ain't doing nothing, right? Or they're not doing anything impressive, you know, or they're comfortable with the status quo, and there's nothing wrong with being comfortable with the status quo. They can't support you past.
Right. And so when we talk about, you know, sharing certain things, right? This girlfriend that is a girlfriend that you guys can talk about, you know, some TV show that you watch together, just understand that that's what she's there for, right?
That's it. Yeah.
She's there to talk about this TV show and to laugh and do whatever, but she's not one that you're going to strategize with and talk about, you know, here's what I'm thinking about.
Right. The other thing to remember is that failure is a part of the process. Yeah. There is no straight line to the top. It is meant to go up, down, up, down.
Yep.
And as my good friend Oprah says, yes, I'm going to say my good friend Oprah. As my good friend Oprah says,
she is our friend, right?
She is our friend. But she says, you know, the failure, the stop, doesn't mean to stop. It just means it's time to go in a different direction. That's all that means. But don't give up.
Yep.
You just got to go in a different direction.
So I read something that said fail means your first attempt in learning.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not a bad thing, and we have to be able to embrace it. It's hard for me. You know, I do not like the failure.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
I don't like no, and I don't like to fail.
Yeah.
But I'm growing every day and trying to get better. Yeah. So
but I think also another thing to remember is that the people who around you who may not be as supportive, it's not that they don't care about you and not that they don't want to see you succeed, but they have had some their own difficult failures and don't want to see you do the same thing they did, or have the, you know what I mean, have the fear for you that you're going to repeat what they've done, right?
Or they just don't have a vision.
Or they don't.
Everyone's not blessed with it, right?
Yeah.
Anthony says, I think that the difference for most people in our network is status quo equals stagnant. We have a collective sense of improvement and a desire for progress. It's very, very true.
Yeah, a desire for progress. And listen,
because you'll get dropped out the group.
No, that's not true. That's not true. That is not true. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not true.
No, but I think, you know, iron sharpens iron, right? And so we are definitely like-minded and encouraged by each other. Yeah.
We're not listening. We're not listening to Anthony. It's just not. Okay. Anthony's got nothing here to say. But anyway, but we love Anthony. And so, yeah, I mean, I think those are just some very key important things to remember. And I think that's where accountability comes in, right? Because you can have the dream in your head, but unless you have someone, one who can see it with you, who you can get it out your head, because you need something to feed back off of sometimes. Hey, does this sound, what if I do this? What if I do, even if they don't know, just someone who can just share with you in the journey,
Right.
Very important. And I think, I think that's where having an accountability partner, because I'm always going to go back to accountability, right? That's where accountability stands.
Yeah. Anthony, what do you do to sort of drown out the noise, right? Forget what they say. What are some tangible things that you do?
First off, yeah, let's give him a minute to type, because he got kids and he cooking dinner. But
and Yvonne too, like if you
I'm
have
about to say Yvonne too, yes.
Yeah.
What do you do to
drown out the noise?
Drown out the noise. It can be difficult, right? And I've got a good friend. I was recently considering, some options in life, and I have a very good friend who's had some, he comes from an entrepreneurial background, and he was like, hey, you're trying to guide me based on his entrepreneurial background. And so it was difficult for him, although I appreciated what he had to say, it was difficult for him to kind of break away from the experience he felt. Yvonne says, meditate. It's
very hard to follow the very vague example that you're giving, Sharon. I'm just saying.
Appreciate you, Tasha.
You have to be more specific.
It's fair. I was, let me see. I was considering going to a new gym.
Okay.
In a new environment, in a different part of town.
Yep.
A friend of mine had a negative experience with a similar gym in the same part of town. Cautioning me on the downfalls of joining an environment in that part of town because of his experience.
But there had to have been something good, because he joined, right? First off, even though he had a bad experience.
Like, he left that on very bad terms, and it has sort of scarred him, and the experience has scarred him. And because of that, he's like, I mean, yeah, I understand the price is good, but
your car might get jacked.
Your car might get jacked. You know what I mean? And so forget about the good things that the program is good for me. It'll be great for my body, for my mental health. It's all inclusive. It's got all these impactful things. He is leading with the negative.
Right.
Not seeing what my goals are. All right. So Anthony says, because I was trained to consider the source, it's white noise. It's there, but it doesn't distract me. I need to focus. I self-isolate and put on some music.
Literally drowning out the noise, right? And Yvonne says, meditate. So again, that's, similar to Anthony, getting by yourself and, looking inward. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think
one of the other things, when Anthony talks about training, you and I talk a lot about manifestation, right? And so speaking those things, I read this book, Hung by the Tongue, Changed My Life, right? We know that there's power of life and death in the tongue. And so the things that we put out into this atmosphere are the things that we manifest, and that's what's going to come back to us. And so, those friends of ours that lead with the negative, right? Your car might get jacked, but listen, it might not.
It might not, right? Listen, and I'm a fan of Tony Robbins, and so he often talks about whatever you talk about with passion and you're putting out there in the universe is going to come back to you with passion, because you said it with passion, right? Yeah. And so if you let those thoughts go with passion and energy and real fear, it's got to go somewhere, and it's coming right back to you. So I'm with you. I very much try to keep a very positive mental attitude. I'm with you. I try to drown out. I only tell a select group of people, right? Yep. What I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, how I'm going to move. And I have to remind myself that failure is just simply a part of the process, but it's also a sign of courage.
It is.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. So, and what are your final thoughts on this?
I'm with you. I'm in the amen corner tonight. I agree. I mean, I think we've said it all, right? For me, it's compartmentalizing those people that, you know, I still love, right, in my life, but they aren't necessarily people that I'm going to share my dreams with. Compartmentalizing them and participating in that relationship for what it's meant for. But then also for me is, again, with just like you, surrounding myself with those people that believe in me and support me and are going to tell me the truth, right? Yeah.
No, I love
Like
it.
you.
Yes, I do know. All right, so we are the Accountability Queens. We encourage you all to follow us. If you're on Facebook, you know you can follow us on Facebook, right? We're on Instagram, YouTube. Keep following us. We are here to help anyone achieve what they're trying to achieve in life. It's going to be great. And soon coming, we'll be doing some live coaching.
Exciting.
Right here.
Let us know if you want in.
Yes, let us know if you want to be
Hot
coached.
seat is open.
Hot seat is open, but it's good. It's good stuff. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right, Tasha. I will see you in the morning because as accountability partner, we'll be working out 6:30 in the morning because I got to get off that. Yeah. I got to do it. All right. Bye.
All right. I'll talk to you. Bye.